Have you ever wondered what would truly amaze people if we could travel back 2,000 years in time? If there were no phones, skyscrapers, or the internet, what would people call a miracle of mankind? And more importantly, if we were to create a list of the world's wonders today, would it still look anything like the past? We humans have always wanted to build something that outlives us. Something that proves we don't just exist, we create eternity. That desire gave birth to what we now call the seven wonders of the ancient world. A list of marvels, most of which no longer stand, yet their names still echo through history. Our story begins around 2,500 years ago in the lands of the Mediterranean, when empires were rising one after another. The Greeks, obsessed with beauty, balance, and proportion, began recording what they saw across the known world. Travelers and scholars like Antipater of Sidon and Philo of Byzantium wrote down a list of 7 structures they believed represented the peak of human genius. The first, and the only one still standing, was the Great Pyramid of Giza. Built around 2560 BCE in ancient Egypt, when Pharaoh Khufu ordered the construction of an eternal tomb for himself. 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing several tons, assembled without modern machinery. It rose 146 meters high and remained the tallest human-made structure for nearly 3,800 years. Even today, no one knows exactly how it was built. But far to the east in Mesopotamia, another miracle was said to exist. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon, terraces of green rising in the desert. Legend says King Nebuchadnezzar II built them for his queen, who missed the mountains of her homeland. Water was lifted from the Euphrates to the highest terraces, a feat of engineering that seemed impossible for its time. Some historians believe the gardens might have been a myth, since no solid archaeological evidence has been found. Yet, that very mystery makes them even more fascinating. In Greece, greatness took another form. The statue of Zeus at Olympia, created by the legendary sculptor Phidias around 435 BCE. Zeus, king of the gods, seated on a golden and ivory throne. It stood over 12 meters tall, about the height of a 4-story building. They said anyone who entered the temple felt as if they were face to face with a god. But fire and war eventually turned it all to ash. Around the same era, in the city of Ephesus in Asia Minor, the Temple of Artemis rose to the sky. One of the largest temples ever built, with more than 120 stone columns, each about 18 meters high. In 356 BCE, a man named Herostratus burned it down, just so his name would be remembered. Ironically, it worked. His name still survives in history, though forever cursed. Yet humans didn't stop at the ground. We reached for the heavens. In Alexandria, Egypt, the lighthouse of Pharos was built around 280 BCE. Standing between 100 and 130 meters tall, it guided ships safely to port with its brilliant flame. For centuries, its light was like a signal from the future. During the same period, on the island of Rhodes, another wonder rose, the Colossus of the Sun. A giant bronze statue, 30 meters tall, roughly the same height as the Statue of Liberty today. For 56 years, it stood proudly over the harbor until an earthquake brought it down. And then there was the mausoleum at Halicarnassus, the grand tomb of Mausolus. So iconic that the very word mausoleum comes from his name. Its detailed carvings later inspired countless monuments and tombs across Europe. But most of these wonders didn't survive. Between the 5th and 14th centuries, earthquakes, wars, and neglect erased them from the earth. Only the pyramids remain, perhaps a symbol of human endurance against time itself. But why 7? To the Greeks, 7 was the number of perfection. 7 musical notes, 7 visible planets, and now 7 masterpieces of mankind. In truth, the 7 wonders weren't just a list of architecture, they were a cultural statement. A declaration that humanity sought immortality through creation. Over time, though, the meaning of wonder evolved. With the invention of printing, electricity, and later the internet, miracles were no longer made of stone and gold. They were built from thought and technology. In 2007, the new Seven Wonders Foundation set out to create a modern version of the ancient list. The results: the Great Wall of China, the Taj Mahal, Machu Picchu in Peru, Petra in Jordan, the Colosseum in Rome, Christ the Redeemer in Rio, and Chichen Itza in Mexico. Each a reflection of a different culture, a different era. But now comes the real question. What would the wonders of the future look like? Floating cities? Space stations? Artificial intelligence? Maybe even the internet itself. The invisible web that connects us all is the greatest wonder of our age. In the past, wonders symbolized power. Today, they might represent connection, imagination, and unity. And yet the essence remains the same. The human desire to create something greater than ourselves. When we look at the pyramids or imagine the gardens of Babylon, we're really looking into a mirror, asking ourselves, what legacy will we leave behind? Perhaps centuries from now, someone will write a new list of the 7 wonders of the 21st century, and maybe, just maybe, our names will be among them. So now it's your turn. If you could choose the 7 wonders of today's world, which ones would make your list?